Hey, how are you today? This is day 6 of my daily walk for a year. So this is day 6 out of 365 days. Welcome to this walk and talk. Today I'm in a beautiful space and I'll talk about it. I'll tell you a little bit of a story about this. Just stay with me. But for about how many years ago? For about 17 years, or no, 16 years ago, when I moved to Denmark. This is the town I lived in. And in this town, I found myself working as a cleaner because I just needed to have a job in like a old museum. A museum, seriously, from I think 1600s, the local museum. And from that time, actually, I've always loved museums because it's really a place that tells me of a people. And it was a really nice job. It was part-time and it was never dirty, so I don't even know, as in I spent 2 hours 3 times a week. I should have spent 4 hours 3 times a week, but most of the time I was just taking walks around the museum and enjoying and reading history. So I'd come, I think, 3 days a week in the morning. I'd meet at 9 o'clock and I'll be done about after lunch. Then I'll be done after 12 or 1 o'clock, I can't remember. But what would happen is, this is where I regained my love for writing, which I've always had. But after work, especially in the summertime, I'd come down that walk I have done with you to the water, and I'd find a tiny little corner, mostly by the tree, not necessarily where there are bridges, which is meant for people to sit down and enjoy the view. I'd sit at the corner of this tree right here, watching these ducks, and start writing. I have one of those huge notebooks, and just started writing stories, things that were in my mind. Yeah, a corner like this one, that would be my space. I'd sit watching the ducks, watching the sea, the lake, and missing home like crazy. Missing my mother, my father, my sisters and brothers. I would be so lonely. I was so lonely, even if I had a loving family. There's some loneliness even that loving family could not help me to deal with. But being here, by these waters, by these trees, by these birds, I found my solitude. I found my solace, actually. And I think that's why I always come back to nature. I find answers. All the answers we are looking for, you'll find them. All the questions we have, you'll find answers in nature. You'll find stillness. You'll find, as in, these carefree birds just making I don't know if they're playing or they're looking for food or they're complaining about the weather, I don't know. But just look at the birds, listen to the birds. Anyway, today, as you can see, is really one of the dullest days since I've started filming. It's so dull, and it's been like this the whole day. That's what I'm telling you. I'm really happy I gave myself this challenge when I did, because days like this I would not have come out of the door of my house. But then I'd be missing this beautiful view, you know. Yeah, so going back to my first years here in Denmark, I found out that even in the worst circumstances, something beautiful can come out of it. You know, when you're so lonely, when you have so much longing, then my love for writing came back to me. And I say came back because I've always loved writing and I've always written. But I realized there are sometimes, especially like when I'm in Kenya, you know, when you're in such comfort, when you're surrounded by people who just love you and support you and who you enjoy their company. You don't get all the time you need to be creative, because, or rather, maybe not, let me not talk for everybody, but for me, it's hard for me to write when I'm in Kenya, because I have company. There's also, you know, the noise. There's the love. We meet at my sister's and eat and drink and drive around and visit friends, hang out at my mom's and just talk the whole day. I don't have time to write. But then when I came here, when I had nobody, I had no friends, I had family, but even family had their own things they were doing. My children had to go to school or my husband had to go to work. When you're left alone, when you just have yourself, you know, some things run in your mind and you ask some questions about, you know, how to live with that kind of loneliness, how to be able to go on when you miss your family so much. How do you go on, you know? And it's not like I have found a solution, but I have found a coping mechanism. I found a way of just blocking those feelings. I don't know if it's healthy or not, but it really works for me. Because I couldn't move on after I came here, because there I missed my mother, you know? Yeah, but as I was saying, even in the hardest moments, I think, especially if you come out in nature, you will find some solution. Or rather, hopefully, you will find some solution. Sometimes it's hard, and of course, challenges different in different levels and different capacities. And I'm really been blessed that I haven't encountered the most scary part of challenges that people, especially in the diaspora, go through, the fears people live with when they're away from their loved ones. I have been saved from that so far. I'm grateful. But sorry, I'm trying, my earring is stuck in my scarf. Sorry. Anyway, I don't think I fixed it. But yeah, in these lonely moments, I found my voice again. I started writing. I still haven't. I don't even think I've looked back into those stories I wrote. I just know I could just sit down and words could flow. But it was just my way of surviving, of leaving a mark, of telling myself I'm still here, I'm still relevant, I'm still alive, I'm still creative, I am still useful, I am still here. And I think sometimes we need to remind ourselves that, because when you move away from home, so many questions come to you. You have so many doubts. You're looked at differently. You even start doubting yourself, like, am I who I think I am, you know? But these moments, these corners, these old trees sitting here facing the water, they gave me solace. They gave me a place to sit down and put my thoughts and find beauty even in my loneliness, find beauty even in my challenging moments, find myself again. And that was really important for me, to be able to be where I am now. Actually, just taking this walk today really has put a lot of thoughts in my mind. And also, as I meditated upon what to talk about, put so many thoughts in my mind, and most importantly, reminded me how grateful I am, and how privileged I have been. But it really does put things into perspective. I came here at the age of 30. I think I turned 30 here. That year we moved here. I think that's the year I turned 30. So it's been 16 years. I think I've been exaggerating, thinking it's 17. Because now I'm 46. And you see 30, you think, you're grown. You figured a few things out. You've been to school. You traveled around. I had traveled to the States. I had lived on my own. I had lived in Kenya. I was a mother. I am a mother. I was a mother then. But just coming to a whole new country sometimes can make you really feel small and start doubting yourself, and even start wondering if you're good enough. All those insecurities come when you're out of your comfort zone. So places like this give me solitude, give me answers. Give me answers or help me look for answers. I still have some questions. Some are not answered. But this water, this very calm water, these ducks, or their grandfathers and grandmothers help me to figure out some questions that I needed time and space to figure. Yeah, but as I was talking about being on this walk again, I have taken this walk many times, but today, because I had to really think in terms of who am I, where have I come from, in terms of thinking what to talk about. Just puts things into perspective. It makes me remember where I was at that moment. I couldn't say a word in Danish. It was so difficult to learn a new language, a difficult language for that. This language is not easy. I just had I had a temporary job of 3 days a week. I was considering doing my master's education, still applying, hoping to be accepted. I was having dreams and hopes of finishing school, finding a job that could take care of me and my family. I just didn't want to limit myself to the narrative that they give every foreigner who comes. And I have so much respect for people, for diasporians, people who move from their home and settle somewhere else. So much respect, because it's not easy. And whichever job you take, whatever thing you do to survive, you have my full respect. I'm not in any way putting a shade on that at all. But I had my own ideas of what I wanted to be, how I wanted to live my life. And my options felt so limited. or rather, somehow it felt like it was not in my own hands. It was so much dependent. Like my opportunities of getting a job were much lesser than the people who are born here because I don't have the language. My university studies are from another country, and therefore I did my master's here to have a university degree from this country to feel like it can be recognized, because it's so hard when you move especially in these Western countries. They really don't regard whatever education or experience you have highly as their own, or rather in most instances, not everyone. But yeah, so this is what happened. All those insecurities, all those dreams and desires and wishes that I didn't know even where to start from, how to go about it. But every day I lived by hope, by faith, on hope. Every day I took the step that I could take. I did what I had to do, even when I wasn't assured of the job I was praying for. You know, even when I wasn't assured of, oh, look at that. I wish I knew the animals, these names for these animals. But look at that bird. It almost looks like the leaves it's camouflaged with. Yeah, so beautiful. Posing there for me. Thank you. Yeah. So I was just saying, before this bird, beautiful bird interrupted. Yeah. Imagine living by that kind of faith. Blind faith almost, you could say. He's just really thinking, if I do this, then maybe I have the chance to maybe have a good job, that maybe we'll be able to pay my rent and take care of my children, that maybe my children will be able to live like other normal Danish children, like in terms of not lacking. I wanted them to have equal opportunities. And 16 years later, here I am. I've had a job that I really liked, enjoyed for a long time. And I had the best colleagues that I really loved. And I had a job that actually paid me well to be able to fulfill those dreams I had made, hoping, especially for my children. I wanted my children to be able to travel the world and see places. And even when we couldn't afford taking a flight, then we would take the train, because I wanted to see Berlin, for example. And taking a flight ticket for 3 or 4 people, it's expensive. So I found out, like, especially before your children are 12 years, they can travel free in the trains. And the trains connection in Europe is really good. So you can just buy a train ticket from Denmark to Berlin to Germany, or to Austria, or to Czech Republic. And all those rules, they are, oh my God, it caught a fish. Oh my God, it caught a tiny fish. I didn't even catch that. I'm gonna look for it again next time it catches fish. And I take some water to swallow. Sorry for the interruption, but that's how I live. Anyway, yeah, so we could travel from here to Vienna, Austria, with only my ticket. My 2 children would come for free in the trains. So it is just I don't even know what my point is. My point was to tell a story, but also to remind you that if you're faithful enough in your dreams, if you honestly just go and do your part, keep the dream and do your part, imagine things will fall into place. Even maybe not exactly how you envisioned it, but it will work out anyway. So give yourself time, give yourself some grace. Okay? Give yourself some grace. and things will work out. And now, 16 years later, I'm in a whole other space in my life. Now I'm sitting down and saying, I don't want to just have a basic need or fulfill my basic needs. I want to even grow myself even more. I want to be creative. I want to develop my creative side. I want to follow my passion. The same way I followed my dream about getting a proper job, being able to take care of my family. I am putting that faith. And right now, much more focused and much more aware. I didn't have all this awareness then that I have now. So now I'm even putting more effort to show up and show out in the spaces that I need to be. For also my creativity and my talents and to be discovered and acknowledged. I'm honestly looking at this animal. I'm not sure is it a felon? I want to see it catching a fish. And I don't know how long I'm gonna stay here. Yeah. So this is my wish for you. That know what you want to do. Have faith that it will come to accomplishment. But also do whatever you have to do. The gift of time. There it goes. Did you see that? Tiny little fish. Is that a fish? Yep. Swallowed. Must be a fish. Okay, bye. I shall not interrupt your dinner anymore. Now you drink some water. So funny. Animals. I love animals. I love the nature. Oh my god. Guys, this is so gorgeous. Yeah, so what am I saying? Yeah, like believe in your dreams. I keep saying this and I'll keep saying it until you all believe in your own dreams. You all believe in the power of your own dreams and the power that you have, the power that you carry to make those dreams come to reality. Don't depend on anybody else. There's some things that we do that we can't depend on anybody else. We have to. That building you're seeing over there, king's sons came to study here, live here in 1600s. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. It's called Show Academy. Now it's a school. Now it's a high school. Children go to that school. Anybody can go. That's also the thing that really equalizes people in this country. Anybody can go there. Just need to. I don't even think you need to perform so well. Yeah, maybe you do. Yeah, but look at how grey this place is. This is the normal November look. Oh, I didn't realize that it's zoomed in. That's why. Yeah. It's called Academia Sorana. Beautiful place. But big grounds. And then you have the view of the lake in front of you. I wouldn't mind to study in a place like that. And a million ducks. And a million white birds. I don't know what they're called. Hi duckies. Duckies. So my friends, believe in the power of your dreams, and believe in the power of you to bring those dreams to life. You hear me? Your life really is on your hands. You can create so much. You can create your dream life. You just have to, you really have to believe it and take a step at a time. I am right now creating my dream life, and taking a step at a time, day by day. And if this walking challenge is a proof of it, I mean, you're my witness. It's not easy. Like, look at the day today. It's so dark and dull, but I'm still outside. It was even raining in the morning. Let me show you what I'm wearing. I'll show you what I'm wearing, because this is a raincoat. I have another tiny little coat, jacket inside, and a sweater, and a warm scarf. Because this is, it's not a fun day. It's not really the day you're like, oh, I need to go out and walk. No, it takes a lot of willpower. But this willpower is the same thing I'm gonna put in my dreams, in my passion projects, in my hopes and desires, and see it, and see what happens. So yeah, mine today is just to let you know this is a cover. Let me do like that. Hey. That feels nice. I feel really nice and protected. So, there we go. That feels nice and warm. It's not raining, but it's really, yeah. It was raining before. So now, today morning, and this will be the topic maybe for tomorrow. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow and how I'll be tomorrow. Now, tomorrow I'll go to Copenhagen. I have some meetings to do. Yeah, but I was listening to a podcast today. You know Shonda Rhimes? She's a movie maker. She's a really amazing woman. She has this Shondaland as a producing company and she's done Bridgerton or whatever. I don't know those ones. But she's a big, beautiful woman. Big in the industry. And even with all her knowledge and power, like when I see her, I'm like, wow, this woman is powerful and she's amazing and she can't have any insecurities in her. Even in that, I listened to one of her podcasts where she had a year where she was really feeling small, and one day she was like, for this year I'll be saying yes to everything. Like the things that scare me most, I'll be saying yes to them. And that's what she did. She said yes to the things that scared her. And when she was invited to go and make a talk, if she doesn't like doing talks, usually she'd probably say no. But she started saying yes. Like, I think she was like a yes year, or the year of yes or something. I think she even wrote a book about it. But you should look for her, Shonda Rhimes. So she was saying, what do you have to lose? Of course, you don't say yes to things that are going to put you in trouble or in danger, but the things that, the things that you're scared of just because you don't have so much faith in yourself. You don't have that courage to face them. Then you decide to, you say no just because you couldn't be able to say yes, or you're scared. This is what she's telling us. Say yes. The worst that can happen is that you fail. You fail into that. You fail doing that project. But without saying yes, you've already failed. If you didn't say yes, you've already failed, because you have not risen up to the challenge. And if you pass, And even if just saying yes itself is an act of courage. Yeah, I'm going to listen to this again because it's many, many years I listened to her whole documentary, not documentary, like a whole podcast. But today morning, I remembered that it was a short clip. She was being interviewed. And then they just put a short clip. And it was like, if you don't say yes, you've already failed because you'll never know what would have happened to take over that challenge or that fearful thing within you. If you fail, then you have tried it. Somehow you've still won. If you haven't failed and if you win, that's even better because you have crossed another level of who you think you are. You prove to yourself that you're much more than you even thought you are. And that shows you like that would make you think like, what more can I do? What else can I do? So my friends, this is, I think I'm going to talk about this. Facing your challenges, saying yes to the things that scare you the most. And I'm also learning to do that because I'm not very like experimental and stuff. But the things that challenge me, and why I'm talking about talking, I always thought like I didn't have the courage to be in front of a camera. Look at me now. Here I am giving advice about how to be in front of cameras. But even like public speaking, I would shake and shiver. I would almost get sick if I knew I had to address a crowd. And I'm taking upon that challenge. Every time I'm asked to say something, do something, or represent someone, or I say yes, because someone is asking you because they know you can. They know, they have seen you, they see some part of you that you probably haven't. You don't think of yourself like that, but people see you in a different light. So like now on Thursday, I'm gonna be in a panel. I'll be one of the panelists. And on top of that, I'm gonna be part of a workshop where I'll have a 10-minute speech talking about issues that matter. Somebody has asked to hear my voice and I couldn't. I mean, the first thing was like, oh, maybe I should say no. And then I was like, no, this is my chance to speak my truth. This is what I would challenge all of us to do. Find those things that scare you the most, and do them. I wish you love. I wish you happiness. I wish you kindness to yourself and to those people who are close to you. I wish you to reclaim your power. This will be the end of it for me because my fingers are freezing for today. See you tomorrow. I'll try maybe and make it a bit shorter. But keep loving, keep smiling, be powerful.